Here we go. Nice. Wow. Okay. Wow. And I just watched the Night of the Seven Kingdoms as well, you know, from Game of Thrones. It's actually not that sharp.
No, not actually sharp.
This is for your guests if they don't do if they're not good guests, then you can.
No, for that I have to demonstrate.
This is epic.
Some demons.
Wow. Yeah.
Thank you. This was a gift from a friend.
That's super nice. I just hate the fact that those swords can break in the actual game, but that's also what makes it fun. Some of your producer guys is laughing now because he knows what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Nah, these guys, everybody here is a nerd, you know.
Yeah,
we enjoy.
Me too.
We enjoy games. We enjoy. I don't know, music. We're nerds.
Good.
But can you find the time to stay home as much as you wanted?
Now I can. I had a bit of a really dark time in my life. Right before COVID, I was not doing so well, like emotionally, mentally. And I really started to look at myself. I went into therapy.
Was it the first time you felt like that?
No, I've actually something has been boiling inside me since 2010. It was like I was voted the #1 DJ in the world by DJ Magazine and feeling super grateful, but I wasn't happy. And that was something that was really bothering me because...
Did you know why?
Well, now I know. Yeah, now I know. But at the time, I didn't know. I was like completely alienated from myself. I'm what they call a people pleaser. And my therapist explained it to me perfectly. He said, every human being has shame, you know, a piece of ourselves that we don't want to show, right? You know the fairy tale of the princess and the peach? You know, there's a princess and she can't sleep because there's a peach under her mattress. And then she gets help and there's more mattresses being put on top of the peach. And she lays on top of a really, really tall bed. And she's on top, but she still feels the pit, the peach thing. And it's still bothering her. And that's how it goes with shame. You know, we are afraid to show the real sides of ourselves. So this is shame, right? And in therapy, you learned to put the shame into... to accept the shame and to go out with it and apologize for it if you've done something wrong or to deal with the shame. But what we do, our society is built in such a way that we put mattresses on our shame. So and a mattress can be, for example, what I am, a people pleaser, but it can also be drug use. It's like you're removing yourself from what you actually need to work with. Video gaming, I'm sorry to say, can also be a way to not to be confronted with your own feelings. And that's what I was doing. You know, I was looking for external things to fix my unhappiness inside. I was looking for friendship. I was looking for working really hard. I was buying all kinds of things I didn't need. I was drinking alcohol way too much. You know, I think that was a problem for me. So I decided to completely quit alcohol. I don't do drugs. I'm a little boring like that. I mean, again, I'm not judging people who drink alcohol.
You're dead.
I think I think I'm 49. There's a different side to that. But I drank enough alcohol for the rest of my life, I think. And also part of my DJing was like, which part is the actual artist and which part is just wanting to make money or success or get an external approval to fix the inside problem. You know what I mean? And I had to really do some soul searching. And I went through really, really dark period. And it was really, really tough for a long while. But now I'm just really, really grateful for everything. Because it was a big inspiration for me. Also musically. But also to say to myself, like, what is really important for me in my life? What are the key things that are really important for me? And one of the things I noticed, for example, was I wasn't taking good care of myself. I learned that...
What do you mean?
Well, I learned that you can only love someone else if you love yourself. And I'm not talking about, you know, like, oh, I love myself, but I'm talking about taking good care of yourself. So, for example, drinking water, going to the gym, eating healthy food, sleeping 8 hours. You know, you need to sleep 8 hours. Taking good care of yourself. I do meditation now. I go into therapy. I write in my journal every day. I do a gratitude list every single day. I still think that's the most bizarre thing because I was completely against all that kind of...
Ain't that like saying good morning to the sun, like hugging a tree?
Yeah, man. Yeah, just learn how to be grateful because I was this ungrateful little prick. You know, I was flying in my private jet to my highly paid show in Las Vegas, and I was unhappy. Duh. How did I get there, you know? And it's because I was only focused on one thing. I was focused on, oh, why is my new track not a hit? Or why is this person being so aggressive to me? Or why is this other DJ being my competition and not a nice guy? I was only focusing on the negative in my life. But writing down 5 things every morning that you're grateful for. Like, for example, every morning I sit down with my wife and we have a cup of coffee. And then we hide behind our phones. I'm sure a lot of people know this. So you have finished your breakfast, kids are in school, you make the coffee, you sit down, and then you go like this. And then I sit on my phone.
And your wife is just across the table.
And then wife's just across the table. And I'm not even tasting my coffee.
True.
Because I'm only focused on what's on my phone or what's going on. I'm not in the moment. I'm not in the here and now. So now I'll put my phone away. I have a conversation with my wife. Hey, what's going on with you? What are your plans for today? Do you have any great... So it's a whole different approach of these little things. It started with the little things, right? And I wasn't looking good after myself. That's why I was on the Men's Health cover in the Netherlands. Of course, it's a bit vain. And I'm not going to lie, I'm proud of it. But the point was not to be on the cover just for the looks of it. It was to learn what is actually healthy behavior. And now I'm still touring. I still want to DJ. I don't want to quit. I'm slowing down. I only do 70 shows a year because that's kind of where my ideal balance is. Super hard. I think the biggest thing I learned in this dark time was
super hard. What?
To say no. To say no.
Okay.
Like I get offered a great show for 40,000 people here in Brazil. I don't know, like for Floripa, 40,000, a big paycheck, you know, a lot of people admiring me, or I have to go to my daughter's dancing recital. It's bizarre choices like that I have to decide. And I used to always choose for the big check, you know, big money, a lot of fans, you know, and I left my daughter's dancing recital. And now I choose to go to my son's basketball lesson or I go to my daughter's dancing class because that for me is more important than playing for 40,000 people. And I can still do both, but I have to learn how to say no. And this for me was the hardest thing to learn how to say no. Was the difficult thing because I'm a people pleaser. You know, we were talking about shame and the mattresses. A big mattress for me is people pleasing. I want you to like me. I want you to say, hey, Armin is a nice guy. I want all the people that I meet to say, oh, I met Armin. He's a nice guy. He's a nice dude. So I'm working so hard to get everybody to like me. But in that process, I'm losing connection with myself. That's people pleasing. You're pleasing other people at the expense of yourself. And that's what I've been doing for years. And I'm still doing that in a way. So don't think my problem is fixed. I'm not sitting here like, okay, I'm telling you my life story and it's done. No. This problem is sitting here, but the big difference is
but you're mature enough to talk about it and know that that's going on.
Yeah,
you know?
it's not nice. It's the other side of Armin van Buuren. It's maybe not so sexy or maybe not so exciting, but it's the truth. And I don't want to hide it because for a long time, especially up until 2020, I showed to everybody in the world, I've got this under control. You know, don't worry, I'll fix it. You know, it's not your problem. I'm going to play the best set and I'm going to make the best radio show and give you the best hits. But in that whole process, I was very alone. I felt really, and now that one really nice saying is the cave you fear holds the treasure you seek. So I went into the cave, which is me. And I faced my demons, faced the dark side of me. And there's a lot. And they're still there. But I got the tools to treat them and to treat them with love and kindness and all that kind of stuff.
Do you feel like you could do this when you were 30, for example?
No.
Because I feel like sometimes I feel like we gotta go through these dark places, and then when we are ready, when we are old enough. I don't believe being old is what takes you there, but I believe that some experience is needed. You know,
absolutely.
To realize you have to face your demons. The mattresses, they don't fix the problem.
When is it enough? When is your life? When is it done? You have your house, you have the car, you have the beautiful wife, you have 2 beautiful kids, but you're still not happy. When is it enough? when can you say, okay, I'm done? And I was the kind of guy that told my wife for years, like, no, I need to do this show because then I have enough money, and then we don't have a mortgage anymore, and then now I need to do this show because then I can buy the studio, and if I have the studio,
And you will always have a very nice excuse, right?
but I was telling myself that
there is the next thing to buy.
yeah, and I was hurting the people that I love the most, you know, not only my wife and kids, but also my parents, my brother, not feeling connected to them because I never had time for them because I was always a big show, and they understand. They were super nice, like, but I really apologized also to my parents, to my brother, and I wasn't always a nice person. And I guess this comes with, I call it, you know, for every award, let's say this is an award, I don't know, golden plaque or a DJ Mag position or whatever. But for every award you get, there's a reversed award somewhere else. There's some shit. You abandoned your family. Because let's face it, if I say yes to a show, I say no to my family.
But how it is important to, I mean, for Armin, the DJ, it is important to be there on DJ Mag, right?
Of course.
It is.
But
So,
it's an ego thing. It's the monkey rock.
it kinda is, but it also helps you pay your life,
Yeah,
your
but
rent,
for me,
your
that's
stuff.
when you're young and up and coming, when you're 3-4 years into the industry, you're 24, 25, you just had a hit. Yes, I understand that.
Yes.
But for me, it's not
Yeah.
so much relevant anymore. I
Nowadays.
know if I want to be number one DJ in the world again, I have to do 140 shows. I have to work with this and this artist. I need to play this and this city.
So you young guys, young DJs, you do this,
Yeah.
not me. I've done it. So now I can play my piano.
Exactly. Yeah. No, but it's very essential, and in a way, I think maybe young and upcoming DJs who watch this, your podcast, I think it's a great idea to tell them, yes, DJing is a great profession. It's a fantastic profession, and all the stories are true. The private jets are true. The big paychecks are true. A lot of fame. It's a great feeling if people, you know, appreciate you.
I won't ask you about if the girls are true because I
Girls
know
are true.
you've been married the whole trip, right?
Yes, but the girls are true as well. But for me, and this is just a personal story, the happiness is not there. Because I've been on top of the monkey rock, and I was there all by myself. I saw all the other monkeys were on the rock, and I was there, top of the monkey rock. Was I happy?
You're still there. You're still there.
I'm still there. Yeah, my own monkey rock. I created an own rock by myself. But it's bizarre how if you like take a step back, and that's what COVID did, I think, for all of us. Like, what the hell have I been doing these years? It's a fantasy world, you know, and it's great. But I want to warn the up-and-coming DJs. I want to warn the people that really aspire to have a career in the DJ industry, because I think there's a dark side to the DJ industry in particular. We're all creative souls. We always have a left brain that's super developed. But I have yet to meet a DJ that doesn't run against the wall sooner or later. And this sounds really dark, but I really believe this. Because if you have a few years of success behind you, it's going to be all okay. But sooner or later, you start drinking more. Some people take drugs. Some people get addicted to women. Some people get addicted to the fame itself.
Stop sleeping,
get anxiety. And we're all proud. DJs are very proud people. You know, we all, especially, well, let's talk from my own experience. I wanted to uphold a wall telling everybody, hey, no, I'm doing great. I've got it all under control. And guess what? I wasn't having it under control. I was unhappy. And I couldn't find the source of my unhappiness. So I started looking at my own marriage. Oh, I must be unhappy because my marriage is not right. Or I must be unhappy because my kids are always complaining or whatever. So I was running away from my own responsibility, and I was not being the adult that I was supposed to be. So now I've really fully accepted the fact that I'm a father. I chose to have children. I chose to be married. And I've accepted to be mature. And I want to say this, like, if there's a chance to save your marriage, go for it, man. I mean, really. Right now, together with my wife, we're in the best position we've ever been because
Amazing.
we chose to fight and to hold on to each other rather than breaking up. And sometimes you break up; it's fine. I mean, some marriages just don't work out, and that's understandable. But me and Erica, we always had this super strong connection, and she was with me before I was a DJ. So we've had this whole journey together, and we have this special connection. And I feel like now I feel more married than I felt when I was just married, you know? I feel like we speak the same
I've had a
stories.
similar moment with my wife some years ago. I remember we stopped and we had a very serious and comprehensive talk, and then we decided to, move on. So okay, I'm sorry, I understand everything, and we cried and hours, and then let's live from now. And let's just try to forget. Or when we talk about what's past, we talk about it knowing we've overcome it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. But we know we've overcome it. It's no more. It doesn't hurt anymore. It's
Well, for
different.
me, I had to look at myself. It was not her problem. It was my problem.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Well,
the problem.
in my case, it was us. Because we started. We were. You've been with your wife for.
26 years.
Yeah, I've been with my wife for 21.
Congrats.
So I was 19, she was 16. So
Wow.
very young,
Very
lots
young.
of mistakes, right? Lots of mistakes. Your early age. I mean, I was a young adult with my wife now, so lots of mistakes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot to talk about. So it was important. And what I feel is also important, Armin, is I see that you're trying to understand yourself, or you're looking inside. It's also important to treat yourself. That's something I learned. It's important to treat yourself as your best, as you would treat your best friend.
Exactly.
Because sometimes we treat ourselves as we would treat our worst enemies.
Yeah.
Right?
True. Self-love is so essential. And that's what I had to learn. I had to learn to look after myself. I was never sleeping 8 hours a night. Mm-hmm. And now I go to bed really early. And I think I was so depressed, but half of the depression disappeared by just doing the normal stuff. Mm-hmm. Showering on time, going to the gym, sleeping 8 hours, eating healthy stuff, staying away from the fat stuff, and, doing the training. And that, only that, just sleeping properly for like 2 weeks, 8 hours a night. My God, made all the difference, right? Mm-hmm. And I wasn't doing it because I was the monkey. Like when I was drinking, the problem is I was always